Oh, whoopsie, sorry. Wrong share. All right, can you give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen? Okay, awesome. All right, so we just want to welcome everybody. This is our April 2026 support group at Shelter from the Rain. If this is your first time here, thank you for joining us. I'm gonna take my, oh yeah. Thank you for joining us. We are really excited for you to be here. Shelter from the Rain offers this support group monthly, either virtually or in person. If you attend the virtual support groups, and you can come to the in-person support groups that we do in July and December, and we have giveaways for back to school and for Christmas. We work with LifeBridge Church, and they are such a great church. They shop specifically for our families. It's not a blanket giveaway. And it's really, really special. So thank you for being here. This is a safe space for our families. We always try to offer some type of information that will help you in a particular area, whether it's financial literacy, whether it's parenting, anything that we feel like will help you be your best self, and also connect with other parents in the area as well. So welcome if it's your first time. Welcome back if this is not your first time. We love to create a community for parents so you know that you're not alone in this journey. We also offer baby supplies, household items, and we have a mentorship program, which I'll talk about shortly as well. This is just one component of our organization. All right, so every time we like to have a quote of the day, and because we're talking about investments, and this is National Literacy Awareness Month, I picked a quote that was in that realm. So, successful investing is about managing risk, not avoiding it. So, being able to manage risk, that's an area that I'm not as strong in. Not as strong in. I am not a risk taker. So, investments or different things like all the stuff that I have going on, even with my thriving accounts, I just don't look at them, because if I look at them and I look like I feel like I'm losing money, I'm gonna call them and ask them to pull my money out. And you can't be like that when you're investing. So I put this on here to encourage others, but also to kind of set the tone for our conversation today in terms of managing risk, good risk. I'm really excited to learn more because, like I said, this is not my area of strength, but it is a really good area to learn. We're really big on having multiple streams of revenues for our families, and that can come in a lot of different ways. So this is one that we'll talk about today. All right. And then we always want to make sure our families have an opportunity to connect. So if you would like to connect with other moms, please put your name in the chat, the ages of your children, your email or and phone number, at least your email, because I usually grab those emails and send an email to everybody who puts their information in the chat so I can connect y'all after the meeting. So if you want to connect with other moms, put that in the chat. And then your main need, if you just want like play date buddy, if you just want a text buddy, if you're looking for a daycare, if you're looking for a job, if you're looking for something specific, put that there too. A lot of times there's several parents in this group who can help with solutions as well. The organization is not the only resources. That's the really beautiful part about this support group, is there's probably somebody in this group that can help you with what you're in need of. Especially in the city, there's so many different resources. My son is 24 now. It's not like I'm not looking at the same resources personally that I was looking at when he was in daycare, but there's other moms on here who are living that phase of motherhood. So put anything you need in the chat. Hopefully we can help, or another mom can help. Gonna keep going. Okay, and then other opportunities to connect. We just always like to highlight Savannah on the Move. That's a group you can follow on Instagram. They do health and wellness. They usually do like walk/runs on Saturdays, and then they do brunch or something after. You don't have to do the brunch if you don't want to, but you can connect. We've talked to them before. They're very much so open to our moms connecting with them, but that's Savannah on the Move. If you're on Instagram, it's Savannah _ on the move. All right, and we are wrapping up the interviews for our 2026 cohort for our Mothers with Mentors program. If you are interested in that, please sign up ASAP. I think they have room for five. Sandy might have to help me with that. Is it five or six more?
Yes, five more.
Okay, five more Savannah resident mentees. Um, because we want to have, it's probably gonna end up being a total of 23 moms this year. But we do need five more moms that live in the city of Savannah. If you want to be a part of that, that's a 6 month mentorship program. We pair you with a mentor that helps you with three goals in the areas of um, health and wellness, career, transportation, housing, any of those things. No matter what your goals are, every mom receives nine weeks of financial literacy through the Dave Ramsey Financial Peace University. We cover the fees for that. We also cover 10 mental health sessions. If you are seeking therapy or just need that, like we always recommend that moms do that because we're covering the cost of those 10 sessions. We use Hugs. I use Hugs. They're a great community partner and it's a manageable mental health session. So even after we cover those 10 sessions, it's only $25 per session to maintain that. I love my Hugs counselor. I'm able to maintain that with all the other responsibilities I have. We just want to make sure you're supported in all areas from mentorship to making sure you have the resources you need and making sure your head is in the right place to do the things that you want to do. So taking care of yourself so you can take care of your child or your children better. This is probably our most intense program. So if this is not a good time to do this program, no worries, just wait. Because we really want to make sure if you start the 6 months, you can end the 6 months. The way you would like to end it. So if you are interested in that, you can either put that in the chat. Sandy is on here. Sandy's working with us with that program and she's doing all the mentee interviews. So if you are interested in that, put that in the chat. Sandy is right here, thankfully, with us today. And she can set up an interview for you. She can give you the link to sign up. But we are trying to finish up those interviews between now and next Tuesday. So if you are interested, please let us know as soon as possible. All right. And then our Motors for Moms car show and Wing Fest is May 16th. Because you are on this call today, you qualify to come and we do free meal tickets for our moms that register. We can't do that for everybody. But if you register to come to this event, it's going to be at Tanger Outlets and Pooler. If you're registered for it, we will reserve meal tickets for you to go to one of the food trucks that will be out there. And then there's a play area for the kids. It's really, really fun. Hopefully we'll get somewhat of an overcast day again, like we had last year, because it wasn't miserably hot out there. But it can be very, very hot. So bring an umbrella, bring something to cover the kids. Make sure you have the sunscreen because if it is not overcast, it can be super hot at Tanger out there. It's the parking lot in the back near Dave and Buster's. So we will be out there. We will send information. I will put the RSVP link in the chat at the end of this session. So once we get to the end of the session, we'll have the survey link for you to tell us how this session went, and then I'll put the link for the RSVP for this event if you would like to attend. You do not have to attend. If you want to attend, please RSVP. All right. And then in June, so we have this support group. We won't have a virtual support group next month because we'll have Motors for Moms. And then in June, we will have the Live Oak Public Library. They will talk about the services and different programs and different things that they have going on for the kids at the library. The library has so many different resources for families that are free. I used to take my son to the library like every 2 weeks. When I first moved to Savannah, I was a SCAD student. I was not working. I did not have a lot of money at all. So I had to find free resources for us, and the library was a very regular um, occurrence for our family, and it was great because we got books. We would get back then. It's gonna date myself DVDs. We had a lot of things that we were able to get from the library to keep us entertained, and they many times have groups for other parents, if you have toddlers, to do with your kids. So make sure you check in with us in June, to learn more about the services with the library. And then today, like I mentioned, this is National Financial Literacy Month. This is Investments One-on-One with Theresa Adair, and we're very excited to have her here. Like I said, we've never covered this topic before, and we're always promoting multiple streams of revenue for parents. So make sure if you're able to, that you have multiple streams of revenue coming in, whether that's jobs, whether that's investments, whether that's entrepreneurship. I work full time in corporate, doing creative marketing, but I also had a business on the side where I did design for other clients. And then I started Shelter from the Rain. So always thinking about if I lose my job, how would I figure things out so I can take care of my son? I don't think I've ever had a phase in my life where I was like, oh, everything's good. I don't have to think about multiple streams of revenue. As a single parent, many of y'all know, like we're constantly thinking of responsibilities that we have. If something happens, what happens to our child or our children? So this will be a great session to think about other ways that you can generate revenue. Like I said, if it's now, if it's later, knowing what you need to do later when you have the opportunity to do it is the first step. Okay, so once we finish, please make a note of what you learned today. We'd love to hear if you learned something new, if it's something new that you will incorporate into your life because of this session. And then we'll do a survey. Let us know how you feel about this session. Let us know what other things you would want to hear about. Many of the sessions and speakers that we get are based on what our moms want. That autism session we had, that was based on moms saying, hey, we need somebody to help us in this area. So we got a speaker specifically for that. If you have anything else that you're interested in topic wise, something that will benefit you, benefit your family, let us know because we want to make sure we have topics that you want, speakers that you want, connections that you want. Last month was child support. And we went overtime. I think we were almost like hitting on 2 hours.
2 hours.
Right. So that was great because it showed us that this was that was a topic that yeah, like our parents are interested in. And thankfully Tracy is the sweetest person and she's really dedicated to helping families. And she said thank you to everybody who reached out to her. She was like, your moms are so sweet. She said you guys were so sweet. So thank you for interacting. If you, like I said, if you can be on camera, if you can engage with the speaker, that always helps with presenting. But even after she presented, she said she was just really touched by how you guys reached out to her and thanked her for her services. So thank you for doing that. Again, we would like to have more sessions like that, information that you want and need, because we're here for you. We're not here to just have support groups to have support groups. We want to have information that actually helps you, empowers you, moves you in the direction that you want to go. So make sure you let us know in that survey what you want. And like I said, I will add the RSVP for the Motors for Moms if you want to come to that in May. If you do not want to come to that in May, no worries. You can still come to the Diaper Bank and Pantry without coming to Motors for Moms. That won't be like May will not be a requirement. If you're here today, you don't have to have a support group in May to come to the diaper bank or the pantry. We'll just see you again in June for the library talk. All right, so that is I think those are all of my announcements for the organization. Does anybody have questions about anything that's going on with Shelter from the Rain before I do the introduction of our speaker? Okay, awesome. So if,
Okay.
oh, okay, go ahead.
No, I'm
Let me,
sorry.
no, yeah, you're good. Go ahead.
Okay, so with the Motors for Moms, if they didn't attend this session, and they want to go, um, do they have to attend this session or
Yeah.
what? Okay.
Yeah, we've said that for the last couple of months, so you have to be on this call in order to get that link and attend. So if I don't see like the name that Sandy's doing the attendance list, if that name is not on this attendance list, it's only because we don't have the funds to cover everybody for the meals And we got like they're gonna be on me this year because we probably can only do meals this year. I can't do meals and the wing contest. Like I did everything last year. I was like, give our moms everything. I was like, give them the meals, let them vote on the wings. And then when we got done, like the cost that we racked up between the moms, the volunteer, because we were doing moms volunteers, like the EMS that were out there. Like I'm just a very like one day when God blesses me with a bunch of money, like because he knows I ain't gonna keep it. I'm gonna give it away. I won $20 at a meeting yesterday before the meeting was over. I donated it to Mary's place. So like if it were up to me, everybody would eat, everybody could come. But because I have been like challenged by my board to do better this year, it can only be moms that are in this group who are right here, right now. And like when I look at the request, when I put this link in and I look at the request, we're gonna look at the attendance sheet too to approve it. But it's only for financial reasons. If I could, I would have everybody out there. Every single mom, every single dad, every single grandparent will be out there eating for free. We just don't have a budget for it. But that's a great question. Thank you.
Can I use my ticket for somebody else or no?
You're so sweet.
I'm sorry.
That's up to you. Like that's totally up to you. If you have if you register and you want to send somebody else because I know you better have the baby, that's totally fine. If somebody else can benefit from your hard work with attendance support groups, I don't have a problem with that. They would just have to give your name when they come up to the admissions desk. Any other
Thank
question?
you.
Yeah, no problem. Those are good questions.
And just really quick, Jennifer, I put the link for the mentee application inside of the chat. So anybody
Oh,
want to register for the 6-month program, mentorship program, the link is in the chat.
awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah. So please do that now if you're interested because Sandy is interviewing this weekend. After this weekend, we're gonna have to stop. Okay, great. Oh, you just got somebody that signed up.
Oh,
Etheria Taylor. Okay, wonderful. Because we probably gonna set up them interviews immediately.
yes.
Because we were supposed to be done with this by April 15th. Okay, so great. All right. Any other questions? Just put them in the chat. I will respond to them, but we definitely need to go ahead and get started. I don't like to start after 11:30 with the speaker. But we're moving good. This is a good time. All right. So Theresa Adair is a Southern California native. That's awesome. My son is probably about to move to California. So I might have to reach out to you. U.S. Navy officer. Thank you for your service and passionate advocate for financial empowerment. She is committed to helping others, especially women, build wealth, create a legacy, and expand their vision for what is possible, no matter where they begin. With a background in leadership, strategy, investing, and AI, which I'm so interested in. We're gonna have to have her come back to talk about AI because when I tell you AI is taking over, we definitely want to talk more about AI. All right, Theresa shares practical, real world ways women can use today's tools and knowledge to make smarter financial decisions and create lasting change for their families. Her message is simple. Investing is not only for the wealthy, it is a tool that, with the right mindset and guidance, can help create freedom, stability, and generational wealth. And we are about all of that. So I'm so excited. Thank you for being here, Theresa. I'm going to turn it over.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Hi, good morning, ladies. How you guys doing?
Good. If you guys can
Awesome.
turn
Good.
your
Good
cameras on,
morning.
turn your
You
cameras
got
on.
your cameras on? Oh, it's all good.
Okay.
If everybody,
Good
one thing
morning. I'm
before
getting.
oh, good morning. One thing I want everybody to do is if you can drop in the chat and say, I am here. Just drop in the chat right quick. Just want to see. I like interactive.
Yeah.
Yep. All right. All right. I see you, Sandy. Okay. Okay, ladies. All right. So I teach a little differently. I like interaction. So just raise your hand. I don't know at the bottom. Yep. Just raise your hand if you have any questions as I go through. I like the interactive. I don't like to speak to people just like going on. I like to pause and make sure everybody capturing everything. Even if I don't get through the whole slide, I prefer to make sure that you are learning something or I need a pivot to any question that you might have in investing or anything that we talk about when it comes to money. So, um, again, Theresa Adair. I've been in the Navy for over 28 years. I am actually a reservist. I'm on active duty right now, so I'm a reservist. So I actually have a civilian job as well. I work in corporate. Well, I was working in corporate America. I work for myself now. I started off as a data architecture. I am now I do AI as in helping small business, use the tool, learn the tool, especially with everything going on and those type of things in our world today when it comes to the inflations, gas prices, those type of things. I also teach individuals who retire early or anything like that how to use AI for their everyday life, but also how to use it as a tool to help them with their budget and those type of things. So today I'm gonna talk a little bit about that at the end, but I would also give you guys some resources as well. And let me get my slide. So if you have any questions that you want me to address, drop it in the chat so I can see it, and then I can pivot and answer those questions, or I might get to it. And then also in the chat, I'm dropping a workbook that you guys can take with you guys. You can use it now because there's like one thing I always tell people at the beginning is that one of the things that we're going to do right now, just for 5 seconds, is letter to money. It's all about money, your mindset, right? So have anybody heard about that? A letter to money.
A
Okay.
letter to money, no.
Yeah, so based on like I go a little bit about me. So my mom, I'm a parent of my mom had me when she was 16. So I'm a teenage mom. I'm a teenage daughter,
Right.
mom daughter, because I treat her like my daughter sometimes. But anyway, so I am one of those those one of those children that people always say that I will amount to anything because my mom had me at a young age, at a time where it was looked on bad on for teenage moms and those type of things. And as you can tell, I am thriving. I have, those mindset things from generations and things that people say to people today is one of the things is why I am passionate about talking to any women, especially women, single moms, teenage daughter, teenage moms and those type of things, because I am proof that you can, and your children do not have to repeat what you have been through. And my mom did everything she can do to make sure that I was successful. So just want to let you guys know that and those type of things. So it's not like I am married. I've been married a long time, but I have 2 children. My son is 36. My daughter is 32. My son has triplets, so they three. So
Oh my
yeah,
God. We
yeah,
have
he
a
got
triplet
triplets.
mom on here. Is
Oh,
Tiffany?
really?
Yeah, is Tiffany? Yeah, Tiffany on here. We got a triplet mom.
They'll be they'll be 9 this year though.
Oh, okay. No,
Yeah.
yeah, my triplet, I call them the triplets because it's 2 boys and 1 girl, and they 3.5, and they
So
are
I
out
have
of
2 girls and
control.
a boy.
Yes, yes. She
Yeah,
has two
wait till they
girls
get
and a
older.
boy.
It gets
Yeah.
worse.
Yeah,
Don't
it's
say that, Tiffany.
that
Personalities
is
and their mouths and they're 8 going on 18. Don't even get me started, okay?
okay. I won't get you started, ma'am, because I do understand because I was like, yeah, that whole thing. So let's get started a little bit. Let me get my slides up. Can you guys see my slides? Just want to make sure.
It's coming for me.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. We just needed to be
Okay.
bigger now.
I'll make it bigger in a
Okay.
second. Okay. Let me make it bigger. Okay. You guys can see my slides, right? Big
Yeah.
enough, right? All right. And like I said, today is to tell you you're not left behind because you are enough, right? And a lot of times when people talk about finance and stuff like that, they don't talk, they talk down to people, not to the people, right? So I just want make sure that everybody is, when we talk about investing, is all about starting small. Definitely use AI because that is that's the thing. And then to build wealth, right? And it's simple. I'm gonna give simple, realistic steps to secure financial future through small actions today. All righty. And then my disclaimer, I am not a financial or tax or legal advice. This is just the presentation just to you learn about it from a knowledge standpoint based on my personal experience and how that I became financial independent.
And I'm just gonna scoot in right there real quick, Theresa,
Mhm.
to let them know how this happened. Because I do
Yes.
want you to mention, I do want you to mention the financial investment group that you're in with Andrea. So we had a board member. I know some of y'all might remember last time we mentioned that Andrea was going to present. She's a board member with Shelter from the Rain, but she's also an investor, and she's been talking about investing since this is probably her second year with us. And so I was like, why don't you come and do a presentation? And unfortunately, because she also travels all the time,
Yes.
she could she could not do this presentation, but she invited Theresa, who is also in the investment group. But I did want to have you mention the investment group that y'all were in and how all this happened today.
Oh yeah, Andrea, me and Andrea, oh my God, let me see, since I've been knowing Andrea since I think 2000 and I mean 20, oh my God, maybe about 4 or 5 years now.
Yeah, yeah.
But I think around 2021, around COVID time, we met together.
Oh, okay.
There is a group that is called Stocks and Stilettos on Facebook. It's open to anybody or anything like that. And it just gives like realistic for women, realistic, how to invest, how to do stock. It started off being stocks and how to do option trading and those type of things. But after that, me and Andrea also became investors together. I introduced them to hotel ownership, how to become a hotel owner. Um, I do that as well. I'm an investor, but I also teach how to use how to become a hotel owner. And a lot of people think is that you need a lot of money, but you don't. You can use your 401k. And I think what we started to do is to introduce hotel ownership. We started as low as $5,000 to be a hotel owner because hotel ownership is a little different than regular real estate, like resident, single family, and those type of things. And so we an investment group. We bought different hotels together. We bought a commercial property in Mexico together
Yep.
and those type of things. Because the best thing about it is that as a group of women, one of the things that we talk about is that why go alone when you can, do it as a group and still have some type of financial independence as part of that as a group. So that's what we do.
And
We all get together and so
somebody just asked, I was just about to repeat the name. It's Stocks and Stilettos on Facebook. I think
yes.
that's the official name, right?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. No, but I
Stocks
wanted you to
and
mention,
stilettos.
yeah,
Yep.
Stocks and Stilettos. I wanted to make sure you mentioned that because I'm like, she's always talking about all this cool stuff that
Yeah.
y'all are
Yeah.
doing. And I was like, wait, let's talk about how this all came to be. But yeah, no, I think
Yeah.
that's amazing.
Yeah, and so and it is because I met them like I said, it was right after COVID 2021, and they had a how I got involved is I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go. It was in Vegas. I ain't have nothing else to do, and I was like, what is this stock instead of be about? Because I personally I have not only thing I did from a stock standpoint is my 401k.
Um,
Anything beyond that, I never have done anything like
yeah,
that. They teach you
that's where I
beyond
am.
that.
Yeah, that's where I
Right.
am.
They teach you beyond that and how to use your 401k to invest in other things as well. So that's how I got involved. And I went there and it was amazing. And I just been following them ever since. And then we all came friends and it is, just the whole
Yeah.
thing. And one of the things investing that I will always tell you, get in the room. Don't be afraid because you never know. You're not the only, a lot of people think like I don't know a lot and never goes into those spaces, right? And you're never alone in that because there's always something new when it comes to investing. And the difference is that it is now available to us, especially women and those type of things. As you can see my statement, right?
Yeah.
On the slide, female
Right.
is the future and the future is now. And for those who are ready to gain their crown. And so my goal is always about your crown is already yours. Today is where we begin. And then money stress is real, but we all have, especially with the environment now, with the lack of funding, lack of anything that's related to women, they taking those fundings away from us. But what we're doing in our as women who does this, we're bringing other women in and say, hey, you're not alone. You can still invest. We're going to show you how to invest, even if you have a little money, how to budget, how to have that gap of, bring down your debt, have emergency funds and those type of things, but also have as little as $10 that you can invest, fractional shares and those type of things. But I'm gonna get into that in a second. But investing is not only for wealthy. And so I think it happened in Obama actually changed the rules on how to invest, and that you don't need a lot of money to invest. And you don't need a lot of money to get Apple shares or any of those shares. There's ways to still get those shares and still build wealth, even if you only have $20 a month to start investing. But like I said, start small, and of course AI can help you. That's my thing right now. I teach people how to do that. So any questions in there before we get
Yeah, they're
started?
just trying to confirm because I think they're trying to add this stocks and stilettos. Is it stocks and
Oh,
stilettos for
I'll
society?
get. Yeah, stocks and Solola societies. I'll drop the link in there. Yes, that. So Andrea is actually one of the administrators of that
Yeah.
Facebook page. So it's over 100,000 people in there. So I would
Yeah,
suggest that.
the one that we were finding, I don't think it's the right
uh,
one. We'll find the right one and make sure we drop it in the chat.
okay, yeah, we'll find the right one. The stocks and stilettos, and she always have free. Cassandra Cummings is the owner of that, but
All right.
Andrea definitely is one of the administrators of that site. So, all right. Oh. Amen. And like I said, today is the beginning. It's beginner roadmap to financial independence. First phase, we're going to talk about just building your foundation. The second phase is really talking about the power of starting small, and then choose your entry point. And then there are leveraging support and programs to help you on investing. Phase one is really about building your base before you even get started, right? Let me put that down. Okay, before you build your tower. And so know your numbers. A lot of times we don't want to see our bank account. I know somebody said that, like, I don't want to look at my account, right? But always look at an account, even if it's once a month, and track your cash flow and identify that gap, right? The small amount of seed money left over is for your future. So if you after you pay your bills and those type of things, and you might have $10, you're like, okay, what I need to where I put this money in, right? That $10 you can save to start emergency funds. There are there are people that say, emergency funds 3 to 6 months, and that is the truth, right? You need to protect yourself against life surprises, and then you can start small as $10, $5, and those type of things. And so emergency fund can also be, when I talk about a little bit later, is using the investing, looking at shares, because there are apps that you can use and you can withdraw those monies and put it back in those type of for emergency purposes. And then prioritize your debt. I know this is hard because I have debt, and right now it's hard because the gas prices, right? But I do look at it. I do a financial statement a month, and then we call it CEO day, right? One of the things I go through is look at my finances, what's coming in, what's going out, and do I need to stop going to Starbucks, right? And so, okay, to lower my debt so I can continue investing for my future or get that life insurance that I need so I can have it for my grandchildren, for my when, as part of my estate planning. And then if you do work, make sure that you understand your employee 401k, because sometimes some 401ks is that you can put as minimum as 1% and your company give you 5% of top of that, meaning that you are getting free money from your employee, because a lot of employees do match and it's 100% return on your investment. And you don't have to put 5%. You can put 1% and your company giving you 5%. So that's just know where you are to as part of phase one is setting that foundation. All right. And then, like I was saying, saving is your shield, right? Is the purpose is for safety, for short-term needs and emergency. It's low risk, low return. And the catch is that cash every day, think about it, our dollar is losing its strength, right? So cash lose purchasing power to inflation over time. So putting your money into like a high yield, a savings account. There are some CDs. A lot of time they ask for a minimum $1,000. There are some that don't even ask for that. There are savings accounts that you can start small and doing that. One of them is Sci-Fi that has that thing. And then taking that and investing the money that's in your savings account, you invest that as your engine, right? And that is to grow generational wealth, long-term goals, whatever that is. Yes, like right now, the market is volatile, but there are safety nets that you can also do when you put your money inside of that brokerage account that you set up, or the IRA or your 401k. Because sometimes some people don't look at their 401k, and they should look at their 401k, because whatever you select in your 401k, you need to make sure that the older you get, there are other investments inside of your 401k that you might want to move your percentage to lower that into a higher risk one, because the older you get, the risk that you take is like putting your money in one bucket. You need to diversify that. So that is what that means, is about moving your money around to grow in different investments. And there are some that are not, when the market is crazy and things, there are some that actually still make money. And Apple, any ETF, and I would say the ETF when I'm talking about stock, is like Apple, right? Apple have dividends, and they pay you to invest in them. And then what we do is that reinvest that dividends back in there, because they pay you to be a shareholder. And that is just one of the options that you have. Phase two is the power of starting small. Now, I know a lot of times when you talk about debt, you hear about the snowball effect, right? It's like you have the snowball effect to lower your debt. Well, also that works on investing as well. And so today we're going to talk about the micro investment. That is what I'm going to focus on in a minute. Micro investing is focusing on small, frequent amounts, $1, $5 transfer to an account. And what it does, the goal is habit over balance. It builds the mindset of an investor before you have a large portfolio. And then there's the snowball effect. Compounding is when your original investing begins to earn, plus its earning grows quicker or together. The earlier you start, the less contribution later. And I'll give you an example of that. And then, of course, the $50 level. Invest in just $50. If you can get to $50 a month with a 10% annual return, that's the SP 500. You can grow over $100,000 in 30 years. That is slow, but consistently you can bring that up, but that is just on the average. And that is generally one of the things that a lot of people don't know when I'm talking about this particular one, the $50 a month, is that you can actually open one for your children today. You can open an account for your child today, and that time they turn 18 or they take it over, and then it can continue growing. And so, and $20, $25. And one of the things that I call it is the gift that keeps giving. So what I give my children, what I give my grandchildren, I give them shares. I buy them a $20 share of Apple, Nike, whatever they're using today. And that is my gift to them. But their parents can put it in there, or they can just sit in there and it will grow over time because those particular stocks grow because it has earning, and all you have to do is reinvest those dividends that you get is versus taking it, and it will grow over time for your children as well. Any questions before I move on that?
Let me
Anybody
look.
have any
Let me
questions?
look in the chat. I don't think it was anything, but I'm
I
gonna
have
look.
a question.
Yes, ma'am.
It might not it might not have anything to do with it, but
Mhm.
what are your like inputs on Bitcoin? Like, do you
Oh,
think you can invest in
that's
Bitcoin
a good.
or
So Bitcoins, I don't do Bitcoin. Well, let me rephrase that. I do have Bitcoin. I have like Cash App, right? I'm a little cautious of Bitcoin because it is if I had known about it years ago, maybe I would have got in, and I was just so cautious about it because it is a digital currency, right?
Right.
And one of the things with digital currency is that it's not at the time it wasn't used for anything, and still today it's hard to use it because when you go to the store, say you had bought a Bitcoin years ago, you have to figure out how to utilize and how to use that your money that's sitting in there because it's locked. So a lot of like there was an example of a person who they started with Bitcoins a long time ago, and Bitcoins is expensive, right? I mean, if you had started years ago, you made some money, right? But how do you take that money out, right? How do you utilize that money? And what happened with this person is that he could not find his passcode because he did it 10 years ago.
All
It was locked. And he was like, and Bitcoins was like, I think it's worth like, I think it's like $6 million right now. But because it's locked in this coin, and he could not figure out. He changed his computer and all those type of things. It was on one of his hard drives. He cannot find his passcode. So
no.
it's not real. You know what I'm saying? It's not like paper money. It's not in bank. Now, don't get me wrong. Right now, a lot of banks are starting to open up to that. So it is a higher risk than using these type of the traditional um, investing. So it is risky, and there's a lot of scams going on. So you really, when you're talking about those, you really need to, if you do it, and when I talk about these little apps, they have it in there. If you do it, it is okay to do it in these apps, but not with someone that say, "Oh, you can make a lot of money. Just give me this money and drop it in there," because they in WhatsApp or Telegram and those type of things. Those are more riskier, right? But there are these micro investment. What I'm going to talk about with the apps, they have it in there. Like I said, Cash App has it. So I did it. I was like, okay, let me test it out. So Cash App say, if you give me put $5 on this Bitcoin, I give you 10. I said, okay, cool. Let me try. And it did. It grows, and I still have it today. But it just it's more riskier. And because I do AI and I do cybersecurity, and I know there's a lot of fraud going on and stuff like that. So I'm very cautious on that. I hope that answered your question.
it did. It's just I know one time I know you got to keep moving, but
Oh, go
I
ahead.
used it one time
Hmm.
and I noticed I was so broke and I noticed how like I was just looked at it. I looked at my cash app and I was like, it's
Hmm.
$600 down there.
Yes, yes,
And
yes,
I
yes.
didn't know it was $600 that I could use, so I pressed the sell button and it gave me
Yep.
all the whole six hundred
Yes,
dollars.
yes, yes. So that's considered as micro investing, right? That is
Okay.
what in there, and those apps other than the Cash App, there's other apps that can help you with. So that $600 you did, right? And Cash App doesn't have other investments. So Robinhood is one of them. And what you could have done is like, oh, I made $600 like out of nowhere, right? You're like, oh my God, you could have took half of that and invested into buying Apple when they split, or buying Google, or those type of things, or buying Delta or other other stocks that you could have used that been on for for a long period of time, right? So you could have took that money and actually transfer into another, actually have stock into another account. So that's a good one, yeah. So I did Cash App too, but I would always suggest people to go into those other apps that has a variety of things along with Bitcoin and all those other type of digital coins. But it is riskier to use that, so you just got to be careful which one you select to, and just let it sit on the minimum money and let it sit. Then you good, and it's no loss to you, no huge risk on that. Any other questions? All righty.
I think that's it.
And then, like I was saying, the different markets, right? And, when we talk about stocks and those, you can own tiny fraction of a single company. Now let's talk about that, right? So you're like, oh, one of the things that we talk about is like, I don't know which stock to buy. Well, what do you use today, right? If you out there buying Nike, why not have stocks with Nike, right? If you out there buying, everybody has computers, Microsoft, why not buy stocks into Microsoft? Buy something that you're utilizing today because so you can have some ownership to that because they are getting money from you. You want something back from them. Okay.
Yeah, Jasmine.
Go ahead.
Jasmine just said Robinhood is a good app to use.
Yep. Robinhood is good. Yep. That's one of the ones. ETF, exchange, when you hear this word, it's a group so basically it operates as an index fund, but trades like a single fund all day. Low fee, perfect for beginners. Out is one of the things we tell people get ETF. And the reason why we say ETF is because it's a lump of companies that is into one stock that you can index fund that you can be a owner to all those ETFs. So the SP 500 is one of them. There are some that has the tech ones that has all the tech companies into one versus you buying Google and Tesla, and because they're very high, they cost a lot, right? You buy the ETF, they're inside of that, then you also will have you have that stock as well. So you have that money. Mutual funds, a lot of banks have that low risk. Diversification, right? Like I said, SP 500 is one of the ones that a lot of people purchase and always, so you see that on the news all the time. Oh, the SP 500, it went down because everybody watched that. Like if it goes down, if it's volatile or if it goes up, you see it fluctuate every day. That's what people are looking at because it's a basket of companies into one. And so one company can bring it down or one company can bring it up. So a lot of people buy that particular stock as well. Bonds, right? No, a lot of people don't talk about that, right? So bonds right now is probably the lowest and it grows slow, but right now, because of the inflation and everything that's going on, buying bonds is good. We're at war, right? Or we're in a conflict. So the government need money. So buying a bond right now is probably a good idea to buy bonds because the government will eventually pay you back on that. It pays you based on the set interest. So right now the interest is high. So if you buy some bonds today, you don't have a higher interest rate than you would have years ago. So bonds and it's kind of crazy how a lot of companies don't no longer do the savings bond, but it still exists. You can go to the bank and get them if you never. And so I remember when I was younger, I used to buy savings bonds for my nieces and nephews, and my niece still has hers today. She said, "Can I cash?" I said, "You can cash it whenever you want, but make sure that you get some value out of it before you cash it out." And then, like I said before, you don't need to be rich to start. Traditional way, large capital, previously before, I think 2010, the way people thought is like, oh my God, the only way I can invest is my 401k. And then I cannot do a stock because I cannot afford $500 for one stock or $1,200 for one stock. Right now, you can. It's called micro investing. So now you can go in and get a slice of that stock. And so it gives you over time. So right now, like when stocks split is when I buy. So like Apple, I always watch now when I hear like, oh, Google's on the split 20-1. I'm like, oh my God, I need to buy stock, right? And so if I already have shares in there, that means that I'm gonna get, if I have one share or half a share, right? If I have anything in there, it's gonna split 20 times. That means I'm gonna get more shares. So when they split. So even if you buy a fractional, you still can get the same benefit as if you had one or multiple shares as everyone else. And also micro investing focus on the muscles of investing. You start where you are. Start where like some places allow you to start at $1, like I said. Some of them allow you to start at $5. And it's habit over balance, right? And so it's really just the more you start investing and automating, reoccurring weekly or whenever you get some funds and stuff like that, it will make you money without you thinking about it by automating those type of things. Okay. And then here goes some that I have put on the screen. The match, Stash is one of them. Robinhood, SoFi, active investing. So SoFi is new coming, very low cost, minimum is $5. You can go out. SoFi has multiple um, um, things that you can do. You can get a loan, you can do, they have savings account, they have bank account, they have where you can invest through them. And you also can have access to a human financial advisor without a commission fee. Like Fidelity, they all charge a commission fee. SoFi does not, which is good because that's one of the ones I love because you have the flexibility of not just doing one thing, you have a flexibility of doing multiple things, but also having someone to help you with if you need financial advisor for free, as long as you have an account with them. And then Robinhood is where you can do trading, unlimited day trading, option trading, um, no minimum, no fee, low entry. Like I said, no minimum, no fee. And that's where you can get learn about stocks. I mean, learn about trading, right? And so before I did that, I did Socks and Stilettos always I think every quarter, I forgot when if you're on there, they'll start posting it. But they always have a week long of learning how to invest, all free for like 5 days challenge. And then it goes to the basic and then you have homework every day. It's a 5 day challenge they have. And that's how I learned how to start trading and learning more about stocks and how to pay attention to how to do that and those type of things. Public is a new one. Um, it is something that the government, the federal government opened up about. It's new. A lot of people, social media, like if you have not been there, I have a link on the documents I sent you. But it's something that is new, it's flexible, and again, public, and I think public is the one that you can actually set up accounts for your children or your grandkids as well. And then AI, right? So I love this part. So AI can be your financial co-pilot, right? You don't need a degree. All you need to know is how to prompt. So a lot of people raise your hand if you know um, who have used AI, like ChatGPT, Gemini, Claude, or any of those. Who have used that?
Me.
So let me ask, so how do you utilize you use ChatGPT?
Yeah. I use it for a lot of different things. Grants, social media. I might ask it for like a 90-day plan for marketing, a
Mm-hmm.
90-day,
Mm-hmm.
like we just got a new program coordinator, so I might have it pull up like a 90-day onboarding process. Literally everything.
Okay. That's good. That's good. So, and the reason why I say that is because a lot of people, when they hear AI, a lot of people are afraid of it. One thing I tell people, especially my people who are in the workforce, and a lot of companies are implementing it and they think, oh, AI is going to take my job. AI is not going to take your job. It is an assistant, is a tasker to help you with things that take you long to do, that is easy process or anything like that. And when it comes to AI, learning AI is good today because because people are losing their job not to AI, they losing their jobs to people who know how to use AI, just the
Right.
basic,
Yeah.
right? So just want to make sure everybody is comfortable with that and just don't be afraid of it. So it reminds me, I always tell the story of I am 50, I'll be 57 next week. But so I've been doing
Happy
computers for a
birthday.
long time. Oh, thank you. I've been doing computers a long time. So when the internet was entered, everybody's like, oh my God, oh my God, it's going to change the world. We're going to do this thing. No, it helps people, right? Now, if you cannot live out with the internet, so,
Right. No, it's
yeah.
okay. Now you have a few comments in the chat.
Oh, okay, go ahead.
Be used for double checking stats and projections.
Hmm.
Use AI or Chat GPT gives the best advice for anything. I agree. And then honestly,
Well,
well, yeah, maybe. Honestly, to check the tone of her email responses, which I just used it for that yesterday, I think.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I think I
So let me
go ahead, go ahead.
Yeah. So let me talk about the chats. You hear people talk about ChatGPT. ChatGPT is what is a generative AI, and basically what it does is it helps you with different tasks, right? The key to that, it does hallucinate. It can do, and what it is, and anticipate what you put in there. So a lot of people use it for like they use in Google. Like when you go Google something, people just put some term and it's annoying, right? When you see Google, you be like, oh, that's not what I asked. You just scrolling down. Well, when you're using Gen AI, rather it is Gemini, rather it is ChatGPT, and rather it is any other type of generative AI, it's really how you prompt it, how you tell it. The more detail you get it, the better answer you get because it will hallucinate. It will think that you want one thing and you're like, that's not what I said. Well, you didn't tell it what you really want. So one of the key things that I tell people in my classes when I'm teaching them the foundation of I said, because typing it gets, if you want to type something very detailed, it's very hard to get it out when you typing, right? It's just like you writing. There is a button on there for voice, and if you talk to your chat, it would know exactly what you want, and then it will give you a better answer than you typing it. And so that is one of my tips that I always give people is that, it's like, it keep on doing this. It kept on, oh, it doesn't work. Give me false information. Chat, OpenAI does not have 100% real data. I mean, I won't say real time data. It lags. And sometimes you have to prompt it to get real data. There is one there is one tool that's out there that actually have real-time data instantly, and it's Plexia. And I'll put it in the chat, .ai. Plexia.ai has real-time data.
I
And
use
I'll
that a
demonstrate
lot,
that in a sec.
Theresa. I
Yeah, so
use that
that
a
is
lot.
one that's, yeah. So a lot of people for proposals who I help with proposals, RFIs, RFPs, and those type of things. A lot of people use Claude and Plexit because it is designed for those type of things. I know people use it for chat, but there's better tools for different things. So I have a chart, and maybe I can when we have the AI class, I'll bring it that tell you exactly what each one of them is utilized for. And one thing that people miss is that, it's like, oh my God, I got to pay $20 here, $20 there. Gemini is free if you have a Google. Gemini is part of Google, and Google has a suite of free tools that you can use when it comes to AI. Just want to drop that nugget for you guys. You never used it, and it connects to your Google Drive. So just want to.
I have one question.
Mhm,
I know we only have like
mhm.
5 minutes left, but
Okay. Yep.
what are your thoughts on using AI for like when we were having this session, I asked my son because he's very interested in investments. I was like, you have any questions
Hmm.
you want me to ask? And he said, really just what stocks would you recommend in the next 4 months to invest in?
Hmm.
And so I was
Hmm.
going to ask you that, but my question in combination with his question, would you use AI to help determine what stocks would be worth investing in within the next 4 to 6 months.
Yes, ma'am. So that's what I teach. So
Okay.
right now, one of my a she teach option trading to beginners. And so she last year she every year in Atlanta she has option trading, how to trade, and those type of things. She has it live every November. And so last year she brought me in to help people to how to use AI in trading and doing stocks and those type of things. So I actually taught for 2 hours how to do that. And then
Ah,
for her inner circle, she has an inner circle that to help them become financial free and help them gain wealth and become some of them want to be become an option trader, option trader or a day trader. And so as part of the retiree, as part of that, so I she hired me to do 10 weeks with them. And so I taught them how to create up their own systems and how to create up their own custom GPT or using Claude, using different ways how to do that with AI. And yes, you could do that because
okay,
I
very
have the
cool.
system. And one of the guys who he retired in February. Oh, he retired in January. We started in the end of January, and I his, gave him his own your own personal system, your own system. Each person has their own different things and those type of things. Gave it to him, and I think we at week 6, and he went from his paper trading to his live trading. And he, based on the system that he built, based on the information gave him with his AI and really get into it, he gained 45,000 in his account in less than 10 weeks. So it is
Wow.
possible. It's just structure. You need to understand how to use stock. You need to, because he has already been in her class before, learn about stocks and really, really understanding how to do it. And then now he escalated and paying and say, okay, I really need to make a lot of money. And so we have an intimate group and that she brought me in to help them do that. And it's like 10 of them that I work with right now, and that's what we're doing and using AI. And all of them have their system. All of them are making money, and so it is something that you should not do if you don't understand. Just
Right.
tell them if you don't understand it, you need to learn it first before you do it. You need to learn the basic. You need to how to do those things before you bring AI in it. And so that's what my thing is, right? So, any
All right.
questions?
We have about 2 more minutes. I don't know how much more
Okay.
we need, but I'm gonna put the link at 12:15, but you can keep going.
Okay, and then also right here, like I said, this is something in the documentation that I did give you guys. There are some prompts that you can utilize as well. But like I said, translation, you're using AI, instead of saying, explain a ETF to me like a 10-year-old, that's what you need to ask so it can explain to you. Because if you say, oh, what is the ETF? It'll give you some high technical thing and you want to come into your level. So I always tell her, like, talk to me as if I am a 5-year-old on some technical thing. AI is a process. Basically, you can compare long-term fees versus Robinhood versus any other system. You can ask that, compare. And then, of course, it can help you with your monthly budget. Like I said, we do that. Plain language, how to do that. We create a whole system for that and those type of things. And let's see, I only got a few minutes. And I'll give you these slides. And then again, avoid common traps to avoid. Don't wait too long. Start today, for $5. Don't chase hype. Do not. Because a lot of people are, oh my God, that like the big corn, right? People are like, oh my God. Take it back, understand what you're doing before you actually go out and buy something because you could lose out and not understanding how to build your own portfolio. Because like they said, boring index flex will make you money because that is something that been historically has stuff like that. Bitcoin is really getting into that space right now. So it's nothing wrong with doing that, but just be careful. And when they say some new type of corn is out there, like the Trump corn or any other corn, it had its hype and then it lost it just like that.
Oh,
So hype sometimes don't make you no money.
yeah, we got a mom in here. Kara says she lost her money on Coinbase.
Coinbase, yep, because they went bankruptcy. That's what I'm saying. Like, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't even know that one.
Yeah. That's why I was like, when you start with investing, start with the traditional type of stocks, and then if you have enough money to play, it's like, okay, I'm okay. I can't. This $100, if I lose it on something new that I'm hearing about, but do your due diligence on anything that you're gonna do, even if it's $100. So sometimes,
Ready
like
to
I
eat?
said, it just yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, she said she's gonna join Stocks and Stilettos. I love that.
Ah,
I think I might
yeah,
have to
yeah,
join.
yeah,
I might have to join too.
yeah,
Well, I
yeah,
already added it. I already added it because I really am interested in that free week you
yeah,
said where you learn how to like. I'm very much so
Get
interested.
on.
Yeah.
yeah. And then also before I finish, there is a individual development account funds, a specialized saving program for low income earners, or that can match your saving rate for one up to 8 for 1 for goals like home ownership and education. And then there are some free professional coaching programs out there for financial coaching, credit counseling, and small business development. And
Awesome.
then and then here's my slide. My last one is like, unstoppable wealth. It's like again, traditional barriers are gone. Wall Street is, you can have it in your own pocket and you can use AI as your personal financial tutor, and time and consistency is your greatest asset. And then also in there, one of the things, I know we don't have time, and but in there, I have the list of books, and one of the books is called I Am a Badass with My Money. She has this whole thing. She has this is part of the Stock and Stilettos, how I read this book. And
Yeah.
so it is by women for women. And in that book, it does talk about letter to money. And it is a letter to money to release past guilt, shift your beliefs, and set a new intention on your relationship with wealth. That
Yeah.
is what that is, from pressure to progress. And that is what we teach, and that is what we it's the mindset change. So,
Hey, come
once
here.
you get the, go ahead.
No, I think that
Oh,
maybe.
okay. And then my last one, I'm gonna give you this, so it kind of give you a view. You can put it on your desk, you can put it on thing to help you with the different phases and how you can understand a little bit more. It's just a one slider, an image that I created that you can actually look at it and say, okay, these are my milestones and those type of things.
Awesome.
And then, like I tell people, your crown has always been yours. Single moms, busy women, your crown is out there. It is always on your head. And you need to recognize that you are the future. Today is you can take your first step. All righty. Let me get that down so I can see
Okay.
everybody.
Awesome.
All
Thank
righty.
you so much,
Oh, did you
Jennifer.
oh yeah, join stocks and stuff. Yep.
And I put the link for the survey in the chat. If y'all could just let us know if this was helpful for you, what other speakers you would like us to have. Does anybody want to share anything or ask any questions before I drop the other links in the chat? Oh, thank you. That image is awesome too. So you
I
can
had
see.
Yeah.
a quick question.
Yep.
Yes, ma'am.
Um, can going back to the bonds, can
Hmm.
you give an example on how to buy one? Like if I wanted to go to let's say Wells Fargo and get a bond, how it works?
You can just go in there and ask and say, I want to buy some bonds.
Yeah.
So like on my I think SoFi, like I said, SoFi, you can buy bonds through them too. So there are places where you could get bonds. But if you want to go to a bank, you can go to bank and ask them, do they have, what type of bonds they have? And so you can ask to list them, and they have them on there, and you can say, okay, what type of savings bonds you have? And previously they gave you paper, right? Most of them is digital right now, but you can still buy them today. Just go to a bank or, call a bank and ask them like, hey, do you sell savings bonds? And and then also ask them what government bond has a high interest rate with low entry because they're going to the government need money right now. And so you do those type of things and event, 5 couple of years, you're going to make your money back twice or 3 times more.
Okay, so they pay interest on that.
It's based on the interest at the time you buy it. So, right, if the interest is 10%, right, if it's 10% right now, so when you purchase it, that means that you get 10%, they're going to pay you back 10% of that bond that you paid for.
Okay, that makes sense. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. And remember your children. I always tell people, remember your children. When you're doing these type of using Robinhood or any of those, buy stocks for your children as well, and there are accounts that you can actually, when you talk to any financial person, you can say, I want to open up an account for my children. You can open up an IRA for your child as well. There are accounts that you can open up as young as when they're born. So just think about those so that, if you want to use it for education, not everybody, to help them not student loans, no student loans, right? There's a ways of doing that as well, paying for those type of things. And then one of the things before I get off is that I lost my train of thought. Life insurance. A lot of people don't buy life insurance. Life insurance is, especially the whole life insurance, they have a account. Be your own bank, meaning that you can buy life insurance for your children right now as low as $30, and that grows when it has as long as it's attached to a account, meaning that just not the life insurance part, but it grows as a bank. Then they can utilize that money when they get 18. They can utilize that money as well. So that is one of my key things from building financial wealth is getting life insurance for your children and utilizing those minimum of $30. And you'd be amazed how far that grows for your children. So that's all I have.
And that is something we do talk about in the mentorship program too. We do 9 weeks of financial literacy, but we also have Miss Lydia Syed from New York Life come in and talk about how to use life insurance and how to leverage life insurance, all that kind of stuff. A lot of people don't think about that. They're like, oh, you just need for funeral costs, but no, you can use that for collateral. And like she said, you can build generational wealth from life insurance. So a lot of what I look at too, being a single mom, I'm like, all right, if something happens to me, how much money does my son have enough money to finish paying his house off, to use some of that money to flip it, to do something else for himself? So even if something happens to you, like how are you leaving your kids? And it could be through that life insurance, not just for your burial costs, but for creating wealth. And then that can continue on through generations. So absolutely. All right, I want to start life. Okay, absolutely. And Jasmine, you can easily, because you're going to be in the mentorship program, and you could do it before we get to that. Because I don't think Lydia comes in until the end, but you could easily do that now. You don't even have to wait 4 months. I think she's 4 months into the presentation, maybe 5. She's closer to the end, I know, but you don't even have to wait that long to start that. But yeah, great advice. I put the link for the survey in there. Theresa, thank you so much. This was a really like 101, like investments 101, because I know there's so much you could share. This was a nice little introduction, not too scary, but exciting.
Yep. I don't want nobody to go away.
Right. We just put our little toe in the pool today. But I really think it's a lot of great advice. Because I do think, when you are a single mom or you're in a position where you haven't done something before, and that could be anything. It could be scary because, okay, I don't want to mess up, but a lot of people had to start somewhere. Like everybody doing well, you had to start somewhere. You had to learn something. So
and find your tribe. Like I said, find your tribe of women that you can, that want the same things. All of us want the same thing, and that's what we do. And just find your tribe, find that group that you relate to that wants to grow. I looked it up. There are a few single mom investment groups.
Oh, awesome.
If you, there are some out there now. Of course, if you don't, you always start your own.
Yeah, and I really like stocks and stilettos because it really isn't focused on what your status is. I really just like that it's
Yes.
women
Yes.
like working together to make money. I think that's why I love how
Yes.
you and Andrea operate too, investing together with other women.
Yes. Yes.
It's just very empowering. So I'm gonna end the recording. Anybody who's watching, if you want to reach out, you can email us if you need to get in contact with Theresa, or if you need more information on anything that she shared today. Again, thank you, Theresa, for sharing this
You're
amazing
welcome.
information, and we look forward to you coming back and talk about AI. And then
We
to
need a
everybody,
5-day class for that.
I know we need so many.
We
We
need
need
a 5-day class for that
we
one.
do. We do. We got to set something up. But anybody watching online, thank you for watching. You are not alone. You are very much so supported. Look into our
That's
other
right.
resources on shelterfromtherain.com, and we'll see you next time. Have a great day.